Who did better, Deion or Bo?
Bo's my guy now. You're talking about 30 for 30s. I was a little bit involved in that one. That's my guy now.
Prime time, baby.
Yeah.
Here's Watson to start the fourth quarter as it goes incomplete as he was trying to reach Andre Roberts.
When I watch Watson throw the football from the pocket, I go back to the playoff game that we did against the Colts. The Colts dropped back in cover 2, and he was just a little off with his accuracy in that game, being able to fit the football into some of those tight zones, and it's amazing. Even in the Pro Bowl, zone coverage, just a little off. I get it. The lack of attention to detail is not there, but still, he's got to be able to hit that.
And please look at who's playing defensive back for the NFC. Saquon Barkley, as well as Alvin Kamara.
Joy, I think they're defensive tackles, it looks like.
They're up at the line.
Oh, wow.
They are up at the line.
Hey, here's Saquon. There's Kamara.
They got a 3 technique with one of the best running backs generationally you'll see.
Not much get off. I was expecting a little bit more explosive stance out of Kamara there.
Man, just having fun with it.
And that's what this game is about.
Celebrating the game.
Yeah, it's celebrating the game, celebrating the players. Football is a collision sport. It's a physical game. You go all off season, 16, 17, 18 games. You make the postseason. And I think the level of physicality we see out here sometimes deters us from watching football. But let's remember what this is.
And Saquon's way into it here, too. Is he calling defensive? Is he giving out defensive plays here?
Not sure, Rob.
Breaking that defensive huddle? There's Chris Richard, who's having a lot of fun with it, as you can tell. Chris Richard, who stepped up, took over the defensive play calling duties. Co-DC in reality with Marinelli there in Dallas. As Kamara was the one coming in. Saquon celebrating, running off the field.
But worse than that, look at Taylor Lewan, who's the right tackle. He's starting to get pretty upset as he walks off the field, saying, okay, all right, that's the way you want to rush around the outside? Oh, I got something for you the next series, but just turn the Jets on.
Did you ever think you'd see this? Taylor Lewan against Alvin Kamara.
I like the way Kamara dipped that shoulder, though.
You know what?
That's Von Miller-esque.
Now next year, we're going to be talking about that. Putting in the speed, guys. Give a little rush. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Something tells me you didn't like that one too much, big fella.
And Dak Prescott now in at quarterback for the NFC. His second Pro Bowl. He's the replacement for Drew Brees on the NFC roster. As Barkley goes from defense to offense and drops the pass. Season number 3 for Dak Prescott. Had 6 rushing touchdowns this year. He's made every start in his career so far. To be an unrestricted free agent after 2019, but there has already been so much chatter as to which direction that'll head in with the decision-making in the front office in Dallas.
I don't think Dak Prescott is going anywhere, Joe.
No, not at all. 2nd and 10. As Prescott connects easily with Amari Cooper, who was traded back on October 22nd from the Raiders to the Cowboys. I think you'll know these play calls pretty well, Whit.
I was listening to it on that last series.
Jet left, Hunt seam,
Jet left, Hunt seam. You're going to get a drag by
you're over here. You're right here.
Kittle over there. You're going to have 2 seam routes by Evans and Thielen, and then you got just a hitch out there. He's telling him what a trickle is. That's like a little sit-down route.
The right read. The one guy that knows it doesn't catch it. And speaking of that Cowboys offense, of course, Scott Linehan was fired as the OC recently. And that is the guy who many feel will be the new play caller for Dallas. That is Kellen Moore, one of the great young minds in football. Was, of course, one of the winningest college football quarterbacks of all time at Boise State. Was a player for the Cowboys. Immediately went into coaching, handling the quarterbacks this year. And many feel he will soon be the offensive coordinator if that news does happen. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I like Kellen. I mean, Kellen was a teammate of mine and played in whole games there and together. And I mean, he has a good mind. He's smart. He's well respected. He's a quiet guy, but he plays the right way.
Jalen Ramsey breaks it up on 4th and 2 there. A late flag comes in back at the 40-yard line.
I think Kellen will do a good job as a play caller given that opportunity because he's so aware of this system.
Pass interference, number 20, defense. Ball he placed at the spot of the foul, first down.
And more than anything else, he has really good chemistry with Dak. He was Dak's backup, and he kind of fully embraced that role of, hey, I'm here to kind of service you as the starter, as a young player, as a rookie second-year player. And, you know, I mean, you just give him a lot of credit. They have great chemistry. It's a great opportunity for him as a young coach. Similar to what we were saying, seeing Sean McVay and those types. I think Jason, this is his system, Jason Garrett's system. So Kellen has played in it. He's been a QB coach, and now it looks like he may have an opportunity as a coordinator. Smart mind, be a head coach soon.
You know, I think he's a very smart mind. What I would like for Dallas to do is get Amari Cooper, somebody opposite him. Get him another weapon on the outside.
You wanted Amari Cooper, the ball just went off his helmet. What should have been a touchdown to a guy that had so many big moments this year. Those raindrops keep falling. One may have gone right into his eyes.
Oh, out and up with good route. Goes by him. You didn't see him do that much. Right off his face mask.
You know, so it really doesn't matter as Amari looks up and the rain gets in his eye. It doesn't matter who the play caller is. We know they're going to run the football with this offensive line, with Zeke. You have Amari Cooper, who's the number one on one side. Who's going to be the complementary weapon to Amari Cooper? Are they going to bring Beasley back in the slot? That'll be key for me, regardless of who's calling plays.
Another flag comes down after that long pass. And there's Jamal Adams, who had coverage there. Been saying his name a lot today.
Pass interference, number 33, defense. Ball he placed at the spot of the foul, first down.
So Amari Cooper, remember he was traded back in late October from the Raiders to the Cowboys. There are the numbers with that dismal start to the season in Oakland. Then he comes over to Dallas for the first-round pick, and he was just what that offense needed, just at the right time.
Well, I mean, you talk about spark.
Yeah.
He was a spark. And go back to it. When the Cowboys traded for him, a lot of people were questioning the Cowboys going and giving up a first-round draft pick. But it's hard to go to a new team and have that type of production. He was the spark for that football team, the Cowboys. A lot of big plays. I expect that to continue because he and Dak have the great chemistry. And not just the catches, but the big catches that he had down the stretch for the Cowboys to get in the postseason.
And I think a lot of people now are questioning, no longer are they doing that to the Cowboys, they're questioning the Raiders, how you could give up a talent and a true number one like Amari Cooper.
Well, that kind of talent isn't existing in this year's NFL draft right away to make the instant impact. Meanwhile, the Raiders grabbed the 3 first-round picks. They've got cash to spend, so their future is bright if they can make the right decisions. But what a great addition it was for Dallas. Well, we mentioned no team has been shut out as the NFC is looking to break through here. The fewest points in a Pro Bowl by a single team is 3. That happened 3 times. Most recently in 1994, the AFC only scored 3. See the total yards, only 123 for the team led by Jason Garrett and that Cowboys staff.
You know, we talk about the Raiders. I really like if they went out and hired Mike Mayock as a general manager. You know, you have those type of draft picks at that high. You can't afford to miss. You just gave up Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper. You've got to capitalize on that. John Gruden's well aware of that as he rebuilds that program there in Oakland. And Mike has a good understanding of what the draft looks like. And that'll be a nice team for John Gruden as he builds that back together with those first-round draft picks.
They've got to hit on those players, though, because picks don't win games. Players do, and they had a couple of good ones. So they're going to have to hit on those. And if they do, as they move to Las Vegas, the future's really bright for the Oakland Raiders.
4th down and 5 now for Dak Prescott in the NFC. And finally, they score, and it's Austin Hooper from the Falcons with a 20-yard touchdown catch. Obviously, the Falcons didn't have the kind of year they wanted, but Hooper had himself career highs across the board.
It's a good seam throw right down the pipe. Hooper sees the bend. 2 safeties deep. Dak anticipated it. NFC's on the board, boys.
9:05 to play. And the NFC gets their first points. Aldrick Rosas from the Giants had an outstanding year. His first Pro Bowl. He is the place kicker for the NFC. They cut it to 13 here with just over 9 minutes to go in Orlando.
Leadership exemplified by the winningest coach in NFL history, Don Shula. This year's finalists are St. Joseph's Prep School coach Gabe Infante, nominated by the Philadelphia Eagles, and Tarboro High School coach Jeff Craddock, nominated by the Carolina Panthers. Both finalists will receive $15,000 from the NFL Foundation, $10,000 of which will go to their high school's football program. We are pleased to announce that this year's winner of the Don Shula NFL High School Coach of the Year award is St. Joe's Prep head coach Gabe Infante. Coach, congratulations. Tell me what this award means to you.
I'm truly humbled and honored to be considered for such an award when you consider how many high school coaches around the country on an annual basis work with their kids and make great sacrifices for them.
Thank you for what you do, and congratulations to you again.
Thank you so much.
Tess.
Thank you. Gabe did such a great job at the Prep, St. Joe's Prep. Won himself 4 state titles there. Had that 27-game win streak, produced numerous top-level college football players. Well done there. Congratulations to all the finalists there. Wide open is Sherman. Anthony Sherman has the touchdown and now the receptions. 25 more yards for Sherman. Seldom used fullback in the Kansas City offense is having himself a day in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he went with the wheel route, and Kerrigan didn't even carry him. Oh, you know, Kerrigan's used to be. He's like, you're not going to throw it to him. And watch him make this catch. He tried it. Come on, Big Bell, stay up. Hey, nice catch by him. He's a heck of a lead blocker too, man.
Giving Andy Reid something to think about next year.
That's all they need is more weapons with the Kansas City offense.
34, 35, 35, 35, go ahead, Chief.
35, 34. Which way are we going?
35.
It's the all-Texans backfield, but it goes for no gain as Lamar Miller was stopped at the line there. The only player in NFL history, Lamar Miller, with 2 runs in his career over 95 yards. Had that sensational run on Monday Night Football against the Titans this year for 97 yards.
On a tackle trap, too. Yeah. Unbelievable. They pulled that tackle. He's got good feel. He's had good production. His time there in Miami, he's been a staple for them, and a lot that they can lean on within that offense with Deshaun Watson, you know, DeAndre Hopkins, and of course, Miller.
Had all success down South Florida. Now with Houston, look at this. Just a flick of the wrist, and it gets downfield, but incomplete to Jarvis Landry.
That's broken up by Mike Evans.
As has been happening this entire second half, we have NFC offensive players playing defense. This time, it is the Bucs wide receiver, Mike Evans.
Here's what I love about him. You guys know my pet peeve. As a cornerback, turn and look for the ball. I love that he did that.
That's all he knows how to do.
Oh. Have that show. 73 Ocean. I want. Hey, get to the
Mike Evans, 1,500 receiving yards this year, out there playing cornerback.
Get to the sticks and turns, like Deshaun told him.
Saquon Barkley also out there defensively, as he has done for the better part of this second half. And there's 7 minutes to play. The rain continues to pour down. And it is intercepted. How about it, Mike Evans, who gets up and laterals to Barr, and now it has become schoolyard football. Saquon Barkley with the ball. On defense, mind you, as he spins free from Miller, tries to cross field, gets away from Pouncey, and what do we have here? Razzle-dazzle, it continues on. Welcome to the Pro Bowl 2019.
How about that call, Tess?
Razzle-dazzle.
We've seen it all. At least they're smiling. How many offensive players can you put on a field? We're testing the limits from that man, Chip Dean. The NFL, the draft, college football national championships on ABC in the 90s. Big Monday, the historic 6 overtime UConn-Syracuse basketball game, the ESPYs, the X Games. Chip was the director of all of it. And now he will direct all of the directors for even more of our networks. He's leaving Monday Night Football. He's expanding his duties. He's going to mentor. He's going to develop the next generation. And he will integrate innovation and technology. And along with his inseparable producing partner of 28 years, Jay Rothman, who flanks him on this crew, understand this. It is their crew in every way. And from those on camera to the folks in the truck, we could spend hours praising him for his years of service. But if there's any one thing you should know about Chip, it is this. First and foremost, he is a shining example of a gentleman. Chip Dean is a very good person. He has cared greatly. He has acted like it every day. So congratulations, Chip, on what has been a legendary run. And thank you from all of us.
Well done, Tess. You know, I mean, Chip's an ESPN original. You know, he became a colleague, quickly became a friend of us. You know, and I could see in our first year really quickly that why everyone loved and respected Chip so much. He is first class. He is a gentleman. He's a leader, man of integrity. We'll miss you, buddy.
You know, when you come into a new profession, you know, oftentimes you're looking for validation or you're looking for acceptance. And never before have I felt that than this season. You come in, the big stage, Monday Night Football, new producer, new director. Chip Dean reached his hand out and said, how can I help? How can I help you make yourself better? And to me, Chip, you never know or never knew how much that meant to me and myself and Whit. It goes a long way when guys are coming into a new profession for somebody that's established and as great as you are to reach out and lend a hand. We thank you. We'll miss you. You've been a great friend.
Now he's going to lend that mentorship to so many more. 3rd down and 5 here. And it is intercepted by Howard. As he fakes the pitch, it continues on before he is pushed out. With just over 4 minutes to play here in the AFC with that 13-point lead. And now Chip's got to get to work calling replays.
Trust me, he's ready for that. He's ready for that. He quickly shifted gears there, I guarantee you. Fake that pitch.
Howard had a great year, didn't he? He tied at the NFL lead with 7 interceptions.
You know, as rookies, going back to Chip, one more thing. You know, we go into those production meetings. I'm a rookie at this, coming right out from playing. All I know is football and going to these production meetings. And I would sit, as you did, across from Chip, you know, and he would have his computer out. He had this pencil. He used the same pencil and this little note card. And he would take notes, you know, and I'm thinking, this guy's 35, 40 years into this industry. How many Monday night games he could just call with his eyes closed and he would listen better than anybody else I see, to all of us, to Stephen Kim, to me, to you, I mean, to Lisa, to all of us. It was amazing to see how Chip did it. So, kudos to you, Chip.
36, you on the side.
AFC back on offense here.
Green T, you're set.
And Sherman getting more work, the fullback from Kansas City. And speaking of Kansas City, his teammate, D. Ford, is joining us on headsets.
Yes,
hey, D, congratulations on such a great year.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man.
D, just curious, now that you're a week removed from last Sunday's AFC Championship game, what's your biggest takeaway, especially how it ended for you?
The biggest takeaway for us, man, is, especially for me, is when it come down to those playoff games, you really wanna execute. You know, at times where we know, especially when you're playing a quarterback like Tom Brady, you really want to execute each and every play. So that's my takeaway out of it.
And as you move forward, D, you had the best year of your career, 13 sacks. You enter free agency. Do you feel like it's unfinished business there in Kansas City?
I do. We started something special, especially for the fans. We were able to recreate history. So definitely want to keep that going, and hopefully it works out.
So, D, at what point are we turning the offense over to Anthony Sherman? He just went for another chunk play here. You watching that? You watching what your fullback's doing?
Hey, man, Sherman's excellent, man. I'm glad the world is able to see him.
D, new defensive coordinator, Coach Steve Spagnuolo. Have you had an opportunity to text with him or talk to him yet? And what most excites you if you do go back to Kansas City?
I haven't had a chance to meet with him yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. He has a great resume, and it looks like I'm going to be able to get back to those Auburn days when I was going off the edge every play, so I'm definitely looking forward to meeting him.
D, obviously you've handled yourself really well this week. We all know what happened last week with the costly offsides penalty. If there's a message to be spent, a learning lesson for a kid out there, from sportsmanship to how to deal with adversity, what's been learned with this week?
Well, the way that I see it like this, you know, I had a great year. After every game, I stuck my chest out. You know, I was happy to see the media. Nothing really went bad for me. When something bad happens, you don't change just because, you know what I mean, it's adversity. You be the same person that you were when you was sticking your chest out when everything was good. Be the same guy when things are bad.
Great message, D.
There you go.
Excellent. What a nice visit with you. Congratulations on all your success this year. As we get the 2-minute warning here in the 2019 Pro Bowl. We've seen everything and anything, including the top of your screen right now, where I believe that's Derwin James and Jalen Ramsey in on offense for the AFC. And we've seen plenty of this. Anthony Sherman, the Chiefs fullback, getting his hands on the football.
I think he's trying to make a late push for the MVP. Mahomes came out early, 7 for 14, 156, 1 touchdown. Sherman said, hey, let me throw my hat in the ring here.
Second leading receiver.
Yeah.
Got a chance, man. All the fullbacks out there would love to see that happen.
Yeah, get on. Even you off.
Chargers star pass rusher Melvin Ingram is playing running back for the AFC now.
Oh, we're going deep now.
Well, that interception call alone we had moments ago tested the limits of a play-by-play man's board. He's actually getting the carry. Melvin Ingram. They blew the whistle before he even started to make contact with Cam Jordan. And I think at this point, that last minute needs to run off the clock. There's Cam Jordan, 4-time Pro Bowl selection, had 12 sacks this year. That was interesting to see the evolution of the Saints as the season went on. Obviously, it was all the points early on, and it was really the defense taking hold on the back half of that regular season down the stretch for the Saints.
You know, you hated for them to lose Sheldon Rankins to the torn Achilles. How fast he can come back is going to say a lot about where that defense starts 2019 at.
118. You're set.
Here's a touchdown tacked onto the end, and it goes to Jalen Ramsey, the Jaguars cornerback, with a touchdown reception. And if you think you're not going to hear about that, then don't go to Twitter within the next 20 minutes.
He actually ran a really nice slant there. That was a good.
He's a great athlete, isn't he? Playing in the Pro Bowl despite lingering knee injury. His second visit to the Pro Bowl.
Big target right on the chest between the 2 and the 0. Third step up, playing off that right foot.
And then a dunk for good measure, right?
It's going to be interesting with the Jaguars. They came into this past season as the darling pick. Had a very disappointing season. Now, what happens going into 2019? Leonard Fournette, that situation, him and the coach and all that. Very interesting to see where they go in 2019.
They start the season 3-1, and then they lost 10 of their next 12. So a touchdown catch by Ramsey, as it has just poured all afternoon long. I don't know what's left to challenge in terms of players playing out of position in this game, but unless Kyle Williams plans on place kicking anytime soon. And now the 2-point attempts. And As that was Derwin James, the intended target. Yes, that Derwin James, the rookie all-pro safety from the Chargers, also playing offense. Everybody trying to get into the act.
Well, it's just fun. These guys have earned the opportunity to be in this all-star game. It's about fun. It's about entertaining the fans, doing things that you would not ordinarily get to do. So I get it. It may turn some people off, but I kind of like these guys in a fun element.
Listen, celebrate the game. Yes. Enjoy it. Fill in your MVP ballots there, Book, for offense and defense?
Yeah, Tess. On offense, I went with Patrick Mahomes. And on defense, Jamal Adams. I think when you look at how active he's been, that being Jamal Adams and the tempo he's played at today, he dropped 2 picks. He did get 1, got a sack. And Mahomes came out and set the tempo early. So I think that would be my 2 choices for MVP, Mahomes and Adams.
No, the word just came in. And it is Patrick Mahomes, and it is Jamal Adams. Your offensive MVP, your defensive MVP is the AFC is going to take this edition of the Pro Bowl 26-7. As Mahomes trots off, 156 yards and the touchdown. He connected to Eric Ebron to get the day started. Smiles all around between these two. Been a fun week down here.